Hey Saggy Seekers, welcome to June, your Earth birthday. Wherever the sun is, the Earth is on the other side of the spectrum, so happy Earth birthday. Oh, Two of Swords. You're not feeling very celebratory though. You're weighing many variables. What should I do? What should I do? The flames are approaching. She can't stay there long. Closing her eyes, denying any need to move, to decide, to do. No, the mind wants to stay and think. It's called analysis paralysis, though you would probably disagree and say, no, you don't understand. I need to make the right decision on this one. Okay, I can appreciate that. However, do we ever truly know? We can do the pros and cons, weighing all the options. But something we all fall to, a trap that we all tend to fall to at times, is thinking that we can resolve something or make the best decision in regards to something that doesn't have just to do with us, right? So let's say this is something that has to do with you and one more person. Let's say this is between you and another, okay? A relationship, a cooperation, teamwork on anything, okay? And you want something to happen a certain way, or you want to make sure that things happen the way they need to happen, whatever it is. And so you take it upon yourself to decide, to think and then to decide. But the thing is, an equation can't be resolved without the participation of the, I just had that word in my head, of the variables, okay? If it's something between you and another, then the challenge is about the alchemy, the integration of you and another, and the resolution is also there. Some of you are weighing them into this by what you think you know about them, by objective observation. No, you can't really know someone by objective observation. That's not possible. You got to hear them out while being in tune to their language, right? Either that, or maybe you're taking advice from someone else about this person. But the thing is, the only person that can advise you properly, truly, fully, and in depth about this person is this person. Is this team member? Is this partner, child, lover, neighbor? I don't know. You cannot resolve on your own something that has to do with you and them. Talk to the person. Morgane, I already know how they think. Do you know, or did you ask them specifically about whatever this is that you're chewing your brain over? Be honest. Are you basing what you think you know they'll say based on something that they've said in the past about something else that is maybe similar but maybe not so much? Is it based on something that someone else said in your past within a similar situation? But it's not what they will say. It's a different person, different variable. Almost 5 minutes in, Saggy, you gotta talk to them. You can't take it upon yourself to make the best decision. You don't know. Sorry. That was confirmation, right? Ding. If you'll keep trying to do this yourself, when it doesn't have to do with only yourself, flames. Ooh. Okay, I'm not saying you're going to burn, but figuratively, you'll burn. It will inevitably be the wrong thing. Okay, and and you'll look back and you'll be like, well, there was no way for me to know. There was a way for you to know. You could have asked them, you could have advised with them, you could have spoken to them, you could have been a team member. But I don't like it. Okay, you don't like it. That's fine. I'm not telling you what to like. You don't have to. But then keep that in mind, that whatever decision you'll make, it will not be ideal. It will probably be off, and it will not get you to the best result that you're aiming for. If you want to make a cake, you can't be throwing salt and tomatoes just because today you like salt and tomatoes. You got to use the things for the cake, and then you'll get a cake. You want to resolve the equation, listen to the variables and take them all under consideration. I didn't say life is comfortable. I didn't say everything is fun. Who said that to you? Who told you that? Who told you that? They lied to you. Are you saying that to yourself, or you're lying to you? Sometimes to have fun, we need to do the responsible, mature thing. Sometimes maturity is fun. It is. Why? Because when we don't drink and drive, it's fun to stay alive and well and able to show up for our loved ones and stick around. That's fun. The type of fun where you drink too much and you go behind the wheel, that's not fun. That's destructive and painful and dangerous, and could be very, very painful to yourself and or others. I'm picking up that some of you guys out there need to sit down with yourself and redefine fun. I think some of you guys out there have something about the term fun. You got stuck with a term fun that was relevant to a younger version of you that was reckless and careless. And that was your idea of fun, and it hasn't changed since. That's just for some of you. I want you to really genuinely sit with yourself and tell yourself, be honest with yourself, what does Sagi of today view as fun? Not what my subconscious is stubborn over, not what I'm used to wanting, not what I'm used to thinking, feeling. What do I actually think and feel today? Strength. You know it. You know all of this. You know how perseverance and patience and determination can generate so much energy. Oh my God, it's the Lovers. I thought I saw strength because of the beast here. This is so weird. I'll treat it as both. I'll continue my point. How it can generate so much energy and life force, and how it can deliver so many results. And those results are fun, right? And now let's address the Lovers. Natural continuance to the Two of Swords. And I kind of love the imagery and how it aligns with our conversation, because here you've been trying to figure it out on your own, making a decision. And the Lovers card is also a card of making a decision and weighing the options. But here she is in commune with this other entity. What will work best for us in this situation? What do you need? What do I need? And can we find a common ground? They'll surprise you. And it will make the choice of the path so much clearer. You won't have to weigh things and, chew your brain up. You won't feel like your brain is in a blender. Why are you putting your brain in a blender? Don't do that. That's not fun. I'm using the Tarot of the Divine, and they use allegories and tales. And in the Lover's card, I think, yeah, it's Beauty and the Beast. I think some of you out there feel like, am I good enough? Am I good enough for this person? Am I good enough for this job? Like, maybe there's like an imposter syndrome. Of course you are. I mean, we all know how Beauty and the Beast turned out. He was just cursed. And then she broke the spell. And it went back to being a Prince Charming. Oh. Maybe the curse is broken. You know, maybe a streak of bad luck and failed romances and doing the best you can, and then still things just crumble in your hands. Maybe that is over. But you're so used to trying to ward off the flames. Okay, if the circumstances are crazy and the energy is not beneficial for me and luck is not around, then I have to let my mind be vigilant and hyperactive and make sure that I do the best I can to mitigate the problems and kind of calm down the flames, you know? And it's interesting how, you see how here there's the flames kind of naturally connect to this rose bush. So the flames turn into roses. And here, there's this valley of flames that she's in there alone, weighing the options for both sides. But here, there's this valley of roses, and they're there together, weighing the options together as a team. Aww. Ooh. Wow. Two of Cups and Three of Swords, which is interesting because we have the Two of Swords. So Three of Swords is the obvious continuance to Two of Swords. It's what happens when you insist on either being stagnant and not making a decision and overthinking and analysis paralysis, then it leads to failure because you have to deal with the flames. You have to deal with what's coming towards you. You can't keep staying in denial or just not addressing things, and you can't just sit in your house letting it burn down and just waiting for it to calm down. By the time it calms down, everything is gone. That's when it will calm down. But if you want things to calm down and maintain them and keep them around, you gotta deal with it, right? So I feel like I'm picking up like this Two of Cups, Three of Swords are two potential routes. So if you choose this approach, it will lead to this with Three of Swords, right? However, if you choose this approach, it will lead to Two of Cups. Union, togetherness, love, romance, cooperation, love, balance, all the good stuff, all the yummy stuff, right? You really want to do the right thing. The right thing right now, Saggy, is action and communication and cooperation. Even though you really, all your instincts are like shrinking when I say this. You're like, no, 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 no. No, I can't deal. That's not your wisdom. That's not your spirit. It's your triggers, it's your trauma, it's your, I'm going to say it, don't you snap, stick around, I'm going to say it. In some cases, it's emotional laziness. I'm not saying that you're lazy, you're a very active energy. Sagittarius, you're immutable fire. You're very physical, you're very athletic, you're very into movement, you're very adventurous, you're very curious, you're active, you're resourceful. You are. But in this case right now, for this reading, what is coming up is that the great news is it's one path, one possible path. But there's also this possible path, and it's quite beautiful, I must say. The beauty of cards, of tarot, is that it shows us the roadmap. It shows us the paths, the possibilities to get to our destinations, and then you get to choose, you get to plan the route. Do you want the thorny, burning, painful route, or do you want the rosy, mutual, romantic path? It's literally black and white, just on the table. And it's interesting because this is a reading for June, for Gemini season, right? And it's the sign of duality versus integration. So you have the opportunity to choose the path of integration, to take Gemini season to its higher frequency, to its higher spiritual evolution, and walk that path. But of course you have, as you always do, have the chance to choose the polar path. It's either the right lobe or the left lobe. It's either this or that, black and white. There's nothing in the middle. There's no compromise, somewhere we can meet in the middle. It's just one path or second path. But no, there's a third path, the path of integration. And that's literal. It's literal integration. It's not just hoo-ha. It's like with this person or with this job or with this purpose or with this team. Again, apply it to your own life. Right? You have a new moon in Gemini now. It's a new start in your relationship house. Your 7th house. Some of you are experiencing this at once, like maybe you are experiencing the disappointment and the betrayal and the heartache of something you put a lot of effort and thought into, but it just turned out to be painful. And then simultaneously, you have a new path opening up that is really loving and very sweet, right? So some of you are experiencing it simultaneously. Show me more, please, for June for Saggy Seekers. 8 of Swords. I see someone really scared. They're terrified. They imagine everything that can go wrong will go wrong. And they rather just close themselves up and not open up to the world and not connect. They feel very, very alone, very separate, very they feel like exiled. For some, it's a family thing. Family matters. I'm picking up on someone, I don't know if it's you, Sag, it could be someone that you know, that is dealing with a lot of, I'm picking up on a strong sense of betrayal and broken trust. Like this person reached a realization that they have to do everything on their own, because every time they rely on someone or someone promises they'll do something for them, then they end up not showing up, and then it turns out to be worse than it would be had they just done it themselves. You know, when you rely on someone's promises and then you don't do the thing because someone else is supposed to, and then they don't show up with it, and it's too late already. You don't have time to do it yourself because you counted on them, and it's like, it's terrible. So it's like this really repetitive theme of trust and betrayal, trust and betrayal. So this person is like, okay, how many times can I trust and expect things to change? Though they're very adamant on not relying on someone else showing up to doing something that they need to do, right? Five of Wands. I see a battle. There's a battle. There's like an actual battle. It's not just a metaphor here. There's something. Cannon fodder. I'm picking up like someone has been like a victim of circumstances, like of hard times or situations that they were just kind of found themselves somehow in the middle, not necessarily to their fault, probably not even. There's something that is like almost like stumbling into it. Could be karmic, but they always find themselves in the midst of a battlefield in a way. Not really wanting to fight. Interesting. You know, it doesn't matter when you're thrown into a battlefield, whether you want to fight or not is completely irrelevant. You better know how to fight, you know. Better be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in war. There's that phrase. And I think this person learned that really the hard way. So you might be dealing with the warrior, with a fighter. This could be someone that has a form of PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. Rightly so. There has been a lot of events. And I'm just picking up on a lot. It's like not one, not two, not three, like many. But the thing is, their soul path with the lovers here feels so pure. That's interesting. It's almost like they're very in tune with, you know, with euphoria, with Garden of Eden, you know, with like the idealism, the Garzev in Kevis, you know, when a lamb lives with a wolf, or a sheep lives with a wolf, whatever, or there's like peace and harmony. It's like that's their original state of being. But life had completely different plans. So actually, I'm picking up that I'm tapping into someone you're dealing with. Of course, this could be you because these are general readings, so you know place yourself. Maybe you met this person, you know. Maybe you met this person and you developed some romantic connection with them, and you might be beginning to get to know them and learn things about them. So the pure state that they've presented to you, it's not a lie, it's not a falsity, it's very true. If anything, it's their true state. But it doesn't contradict the other levels and layers of existence and characteristics that they've attained and were created within them due to life circumstance. Now that applies to everyone, by the way, right? So a person of complexity doesn't negate that that's who they are as a whole. Like even if there are contradictory things, you know, most of us are not one or two things. But I'm picking up that maybe you're getting to know this part of them, and maybe you're like wondering, wait, where was the pure, sweet personality? It's there. It's right on the table. All of it. It's all of it is on the table. You know what I keep having it goes on in my head? It's the beast who breaks the curse for Beauty. Because in Beauty and the Beast, it was Beauty who broke the curse for the Beast. But I'm picking up on like a role reversal somehow. It's very interesting, which is bizarre because you would think, okay, if inevitable, if it's something that if it's a person who's referred to as the Beast, that they are like the cursed one, and not the Beauty, but I don't know why it's the opposite. We'll find out. We'll pull out more cards. This is a very interesting reading. Interesting. I'm also picking up that this person has a very high tolerance for pain. They've definitely had the opportunities to practice it, but I'm not saying purposefully, I'm not saying intentionally. This can absolutely likely be not something of their own choosing, but they have very high tolerance to pain. That tells me, Saggy, that if they show you their pain, it means they trust you, because people with high tolerance to pain have the skill to not, show their pain, or not to have it affect others, and to keep it, to hold it in like in a very stoic manner. And often it's because they don't trust people with their pain or how they feel. So that's something that is coming through. Okay, if they trust you with their pain, they don't have to. They don't have to show it to you. It's not something that they can't necessarily control. Like if they're showing it to you, it's like on their end, it's a compliment, right? It's a form of showing trust, which is a big deal for this person, because this person does not trust, and for a good reason. This came from family. This came from their environment. This came from literally everywhere. Okay, let's continue. Let's see. Show me more, please, for Saggy for June. Seven of Swords. Another sword from the Suit of Swords. You have a lot of energy on the table. No earth yet. Drifter energy. Or a traveler. Not lost. Not all those who wander are lost, right? But I don't know. There's so much. There's so much. There's so many swords. There's so much life experience here. Not always good, but very teaching, right? Everything we go through in the sword suit is likely uncomfortable, but also so educating and teaching. Showing more for Saggy for June. Saggy, you might be picking up that some of you are going to be challenged at your job by someone manipulative. Three of Cups. They pretend to be on your side and to really like you, and like they smile to your face, but might be sabotaging you behind your back. If you have an inclination as to who that is, if you have an intuition, make sure to beat them to it. Make sure to not, but don't go paranoid. If someone is actually super nice and okay, go and sabotage them in ways of like, okay, I need to beat them to it, because then you'll be the bad guy. Take a breath. If there's someone that you're already like, let's say they sabotage you somehow before, and then when you try to talk to them about it or call them out, they acted all naive and, oh, it was a mistake. Oh, it was an accident. I didn't mean to slip. that information about you that you entrusted me with to our boss and then have it, ruin the promotion for you. I didn't mean it. It was an accident. They overheard me. I didn't mean to be so loud. That, especially if you're a man and this is coming from a woman who does that, you guys tend to be so dumb facing women who act dumb. I'm just going to say it. Why? I'm just going to say it, because of covert chauvinism. It's very easy for you to believe that a woman is very dumb and very naive and didn't mean it and didn't know any better. She knew exactly what she was doing. Okay? Women are way smarter than you give them credit for. And because they know that men are covert chauvinists still, even if you're a feminist, okay? They play on it. Acting dumb to avoid responsibility. Oh, it was a mistake. No, men do that too. I'm not saying that men don't do that, but it's a thing that women get away with a lot because men find it easy to believe that they just didn't know it better. Got confused. Oh, how did I not think of it? Thank you so much for clarifying. Of course, that could be bad for you. How did I not think of it? I'm so sorry. It will never, ever happen again. God. That, okay? If you're dealing with someone like that, they're not on your side, mate. They're not on your side, okay? Especially if they're playing extra cutie while sabotaging a lot of shit for you. So, there are cutie, naive people out there, women included. Sometimes there is an honest mistake. But try to figure out, go back and trace their communication and actions. Are they really that naive? Or are they really sharp and smart and then suddenly they go all weirdly naive? That's what I mean, okay? And it's coming through with work specifically. Also, I do see some of you messing around, dating multiple people. Okay. For some of you, this person that you've dealt with, that we tapped into earlier, that you started this like Two of Cups lovers energy with, good energy, because you're going from Two of Cups to Three of Cups. You're bringing in more variables to an equation that needs two, right? It takes two to tango, but no more than two. So, yeah. I do see in this reading, I'm picking up on some, okay, I don't need this shit, too much for me. Why don't I go where I have happier, more lighthearted people? Why do I need to deal with all this drama and heavy stuff? Let me tell you something, Sag. If you ever hear anything from me, let that be this. No one is ever fully lighthearted and cutie and free of baggage. That does not exist. People in society are very well adept in putting their best foot forward, right? Making the best impression and putting on a show. We put on a show for everything. So if someone takes 6 months to show you their true face, and for 6 months they're just lighthearted and sweet and yes to anything, they either see a lot of like videos or read a lot of books on get that guy or get that girl, it's like how to behave. It's all pretense. Okay? Eventually, the truth of the heart and of the background and of the baggage always comes out, and no one is exempt. You have it, they have it. These cuties that seem so cutie and giggle at everything, or if you're a woman and you're dealing with men, I don't know why, maybe I'm picking up on some saggy masculines that this can apply to, but it doesn't matter the gender, okay? If everything is constantly perfect with this person, now I'm not saying go with trauma bond or addicts or anything destructive. Don't take it to the other extreme. The best way to discern is trying to see if, okay, were these events and stuff are things that this person caused, or are those things that life kind of brought or other people have caused? And then, well, how did this person cope? How did this person respond? How did they deal? That shows you the essence of the person. Okay? Now, if this person is constantly creating difficult situations in their life and sabotages and ruin things, and then they whine about it, they sound toxic. I get it. No, don't go for it. But if it's not the case, right? And they show you right off the start, it means they're not lingering. They're not stringing you along. They're not trying to pretend to be something else to kind of catch you and then little by little show themselves, if at all. But then eventually it shows them. We all show ourselves eventually, sooner or later. And then a lot of couples are like, who wake up after 6 months together or a year together? And it's like, who are you? You're not the person that I met. You're not the person that I committed to. And then feeling lied to, right? Feeling cheated. But serves them right, because, well, you fell for the show. You wanted the easy breezy, not having to deal with anything real. You got it. But then real comes back and bite you in the ass in a very real way more than it would if it was just dealt with in the beginning. Right? A stitch in time saves 9. But how would you know they didn't show you? But, well, you asked for it. Because when you got someone real, you didn't like it. It's too real. And you got someone fake, and they're like, oh, you're fake. Well, real is real, my friends. It's the good and the bad. Okay. I'm going to continue this reading, focusing specifically on love life. It's the extended. Link to that is below in the description box. It's available on Vimeo and on Patreon. Patrons, you get it for unlimited streaming. You get all the extendeds and all the VIP content. So it's worth to maybe check out Patreon.